Welcome back to this video tutorial. We can discuss about string manipulation in C programming. So we can consider the definition of a string first. A string is a sequence of characters terminated with a null character. Okay, the null character can be represented using a backward slash with a 0. So a string means sequence of characters. So for storing different characters in a string, we can declare a character array first. How to declare a character array? With the type char, we can specify the name of the array, and inside the square we need to specify the size. Okay, so here the syntax is given like this: char name, then square bracket, after equal to, inside the double quotes specify a sequence of characters. So this sequence of characters form the string here. Okay, so how it will be represented in our memory? This will appear in this memory in consecutive memory bytes. Okay, C is present here, after a space is stored here, and in consecutive next bytes it is the string, the word string. The different characters of this string is represented one after another here, and at the end by default it append a null character. The presence of this null character actually used for identifying the end of one string. Okay, so here it specify the size of the string including the null character. That means how many characters are total present here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so here we need total 9 consecutive bytes in order to store this characters present in this particular string completely. Okay, here we need to store different characters, and in C compiler one character required one particular byte of memory for storing its ASCII code completely, right? So for the characters, its ASCII values get stored into our memory location, and for storing a particular ASCII value we need a single byte of memory space. So for storing this particular string, we need total 9 bytes in our memory, and the 9 bytes should be in continuous memory location. Okay, so here it is given the string inside this quotes, double quotes, without any slash character, but our C compiler, after initializing this character array with this particular sequence of character, the compiler automatically assign a null character at the end of this string array in order to indicate the end of this particular string. Okay, so now we can consider the various format for declaring a string. Okay, so this is the declaration part of string. So for declaring a string or allotting memory space for storing the characters in a string, we need to declare character array like this: char SF5. So how many bytes it allowed? Total 5 bytes are allotted, and these 5 bytes should be in sequence because this is an array. This is a character array. For the character array and for any type of array, the allotted memory space should be in sequence or in continuous memory location. Okay, so for storing each character in our memory, it requires one single byte. Okay, so here total 5 bytes are allotted, and these 5 bytes are indexed with value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, now we can consider about the initialization of strings. So here char C of ABC, meaning it allowed total 4 consecutive bytes and store ABC. This is the array C, and store ABC, and at the end it attach a null character by default. This presence of this particular null character indicate the end of the string ABC. Another format is like this. Here the size is specified directly here, but here the size is filled automatically with the size of the characters present here. And also we need to count the presence of null character at the end of this string. Okay, so here also ABC is stored here and null is present at the end of the string, and the remaining allotted bytes kept as free. That means by default all these contains null values. Okay, and the string character reading continue from this location and end whenever a null is present for the first time. Okay, here is the another syntax in which the array is initialized with various characters present inside these braces, and here we need to specify the null at the end. Okay, in this particular syntax we need to specify the null character at the end, but here and here it automatically assign a null character at the end of the string, but here in this particular format we need to specify the null character here and here also. Okay, what's the meaning of this A present inside the single quote? This indicate we want to store the ASCII equivalent of this particular symbol in our memory location. The value or the symbol present inside the single quote actually indicate the ASCII equivalent or the character value of this particular symbol. That is the ASCII equivalent of this particular symbol. Okay, so the ASCII equivalent of all these characters are stored into consecutive memory space, right? Okay, next about reading string from the keyboard. How to read string from keyboard while executing a program? For that we can use the same library function, the scanf. Okay, how to read using scanf? We can use the format scanf. Inside the quotes we need to specify the specifier first, access specifier. That is, here it is %s. %s indicate we are going to read from the keyboard, which is a string type value. Okay, then we need to specify the starting address location in which we need to store the different characters of the string. Okay, and what is the property of the scan function? For reading a string, the scan function reads the sequence of character until it encounters a white space. Okay, using this scanf we can read a sequence of character until it encounters a white space. Whenever it identify the presence of a space, new line character, tab, etc., then it stop reading and store that much amount of character that read until it find a white space. Okay, for avoiding such a problem we can use another function, that is getS function. Using this getS function, user can enter string separated with spaces. That means here we have no issue, we can enter sequence of characters and the characters are separated by space. So using this gets we can read any sequence of characters. The character sequence may contain space also. This will never become an issue while using gets. But the presence of a white space become an issue in case of scanf function while using for reading a string. And here we have one more function, the putS function. This putS is used for displaying a string which is present inside a character array. And also the same printf function can be used for displaying a string which is present inside a character array. Okay, now we can consider various program example to identify these concepts properly. Okay, so Here we have the main function. Inside we have declared a name array with total how many bytes are allotted? Total 20 bytes are allotted. First of all, I am going to type one command for reading a name. Enter your name. Okay, now we can consider the syntax of scanf for using or reading string. Okay, scanf %s. The access specifier must be %s for reading a string type value. Okay, scanf, then specify the starting address of our character array. Now we can use this printf function to display printf name is, the type is %s, then specify this one. Now we can execute this. Okay, enter the name, going to enter my name. Okay, so name is Namita. Okay, now I'm going to execute this, and I'm going to enter a name with a space in between. Consider this. Right, what will happen? Okay, so the output is like this, name is Namita. That means it stopped reading the character sequence whenever it encounter a space in between. Okay, so this is the limitation of scanf function for reading a name from the reading a string from the keyboard. Okay, we can avoid this by using gets function. How it possible? Use the same syntax. You print this same command first, then use this function getS, and we need to specify the name of our array. This is actually a simple syntax for using this getS function for reading a string, and we can display the name using print. Okay, going to enter my name first. Okay, so name is Namita. Once again, I am going to execute this. Okay, okay, now it is clear that by using this gets function, it can read the all character sequence, including the white space in between. So for including the white space inside this character sequence, we can use the function getS instead of our scanf function. Okay, now we can familiarize our putS function instead of this printf. Okay, so after reading this, we can use this putS function for displaying. The syntax is exactly like our getS. We don't want to specify any specifier here. Simply specify the name of our array, character array here. Okay, now execute this. Okay, it display the name which is present in this character array. Okay, but the problem is by using this putS, we can specify another some other command like the name is inside this. For that, we need to use the same printf. Okay, name is, then put a semicolon. After using this putS function, we can display the name which is available in our character array. Consider this. Okay, name is Namita. Okay, so this is all about our scanf function, getters function and putters function used for reading and displaying a string from keyboard. Okay.